Right, golfers, I want you to double check this hip tilt drill because it's absolutely transforming lots of my lessons and students are striking the golf ball. Not only is it helping them strike the golf ball better with their irons, but it's helping them hit longer and straighter golf drives as well. I think it's pretty safe to say that everyone down that lens knows that you have to turn your hips to hit better golf shots. But it shocks me so often that people forget that they need to tilt them as well. Introducing some hip turn with some hip tilts in your golf swings, not only going to help your backswing, but it's going to help your downswings, which is then in turn going to help you strike that golf ball better. So let's take you through this simple golf swing idea that could completely transform the way you strike that golf ball. Just before we do get into it though, if you're new to the channel, hello, and if you're a returning viewer, hello again. Just a little reminder for you all, if you enjoy the content and you're not a subscriber already, make sure you hit that big red subscribe button and turn the bell on so you get notified of when I upload all my new videos. So I think we can all agree that there's turns in the golf swing. So I'm turning back and I'm turning through. Turning back, turning through. But there's tilts also, this way and this way. And because we're in sort of our posture, we've got forward bend from our hips here. Those two, the turning in the golf swing and the tilts, have to merge together nicely to give you that nice looking backswing, that functional downswing to then strike that golf ball better like you're all after. So I turn to the top of my backswing here. If I put my club across my waist here now, I have tilts and turns in my hips. But so many amateur golfers that are struggling with strike, struggling with standing up in their golf swing, whether it's in the backswing or whether it's in the downswing, that sort of early extension, there's no tilts in there. And I can remember me and Mark went on a trip once and we were having some lunch. We'd just arrived and it overlooked the driving range. There was about 10 people on there and they all stood up in their backswings and were like, look at that. That is amazing. And basically what 8 out of the 10 golfers were doing were turning their hips completely level with no tilt. So if I turn my hips level here, I start to stand up. My hip comes forward, my foot starts to raise up. Raising the foot up isn't a problem, but you can do it with some tilts in there. Just raising the foot up off the ground, this lead foot, and turning level with your hips, then gets this standing up look. The club backswing's all kind of disconnected. Hit the like button if you know someone that swings like this, or even send them this video to try and correct it and help them a little bit, unless you want to take their money next time you play. So it's not just trying to turn these hips. We need some tilts in it as well. And now look at how my knee starts to work inwards a little bit. My right pocket starts to work back. And that gives me that tilt in my hips rather than them staying level. My left hip comes forward loads. I start to move up in the backswing and stand up. This is completely going to change that standing up look in your backswings. And then if we move that onto the downswing, that standing up's going to occur again, that sort of early extension look. Let's get rid of standing up in that golf swing. So I've set myself up in my golf swing, I've turned my hips level and I've stood up. So set myself up, turn my hips level, and I get into this sort of position. Now, all sorts can happen from here, depending on what golfers stood on this mat. But if you now just turn your hips level on the way down too, this is a common look, isn't it? Out to in, hands going away from you, disconnecting, that sort of right hip firing out, arms moving out, cutting across it, big slices, struggling to strike that golf ball. We need to add that tilt on the way back, and we need to add that tilt on the way through as well. So not only am I turning my hips, but they're tilted again. So this is going to be super simple. You can do this at home. You can do this at the driving range. You can do this before you hit your golf shot. I do this with so many of my students for so many reasons. Popping the club across your waist, pop your thumbs in your pocket. Now, not only is this great for working out how much you're turning, but you can now add how much you're tilting. Do you get an incline when you turn your hips back? Or when you turn them back, does this club stay level to the ground? I want you to turn those hips and add some tilt in. So see, my right pocket is higher than my left here, and it's starting to point down towards the golf ball. You're not going to get it all the way towards the golf ball because that will be way too excessive, the amount of tilt. But we want to see a bit of incline in those hips rather than this club turning level and you standing up. Do it in a mirror at home. Do it in a window reflection. Do it wherever you need to really get the feel of how those hips are turning and tilting. And it should be the same feeling on the way through. So turn back, get that incline in that shaft, not turning them level. And then on the way through, we should start to see that tilt in your hips on the way through as well. Now, if I turn my hips level, my bum comes inwards, what people would class as early extension, standing up, that hip moving out, all things that you would associate with that path moving out to in. This is going to transform your paths. It's going to transform your face control. It's going to transform your consistency of strike because you're not having to make all these alterations throughout your swing to try and find that good contact. Adding that hip tilt into your golf swings is so important. And then once you've got the feel of that club pointing down towards the golf ball a little bit more on the way back and on the way through, add it into your golf swing. Turn back. Now I'm not standing up. I've got my nice looks of my golf swings. I'm turning better. I'm not standing up. On the way through, that right hip moves down, left hip moves up. You'll probably see a little bit more distance in your golf shots as well as a little bonus, because you're going to start pushing in the ground slightly different to get those tilts in your golf swings, in your hips, and it'll also produce better strikes. So hopefully you're going to get that distance through that as well. We all know that we need to turn in our golf swings, like we said at the start, but we forget that we need to tilt. This also applies to the upper body as well. You need to add some tilts in there too. So if you're not sure if you're doing that right, I've got a great video at the end here. So click on that and check, because upper body tilts merge with your hip tilts and turns as well, which then help you strike that golf ball better. Let me know in the comments down below, is this something that you've had to work on in your golf swings in the past, or you currently are, or you know someone that needs to work on it? Again, share this video with them, help a golf buddy out. This game's hard enough. Let's add some tilt in as well as turning in our hips to hit better golf shots. I hope that helps, and if you have any questions on this video about hip turn and tilt, let me know in the comments down below. Let's stop these standing up looks in our golf swings to hit better golf shots. Thanks all for watching. See you in the next one.